All right, awesome. I think we're live. We just did a test a moment ago, just checking that the sound quality was all good, but seems to be good. I have the live chat open, so if for some reason the audio isn't working, let me know because it's a bit hard to see actually on my meter here in YouTube Live. But this seems pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the setup for YouTube Live. I was trying Twitch for a little bit, and yeah, I just didn't get my head around Twitch. So I think this medium is going to work really well, especially with the new camera. There seems to be working pretty good. Hopefully, it doesn't go off because it does use this camera is really weird. It doesn't use a lithium battery. It's still using AA batteries, which is kind of an old school technology now. Anyway, let's get stuck into it today. Bit of a different video because I've never actually done a podcast on YouTube, but welcome to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast, episode 3, season 2, episode 3, with your host Emlyn, of course, hence the name Emlyn in the Mix. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, welcome, and welcome to you guys listening on the podcast. So let's get stuck straight into it. We'll get into some of the smaller news roundup, and then we'll get into the bigger topic today, which is, of course, Reason Plus and what happened there. Let's go into the smaller news first, though. So the first thing that came to my inbox, which I definitely need to mention here, is that Native Instruments has actually sold to an investment company. Now, this just happened recently. And what does it mean for the DJ software company giant? This is massive news. It could be good, though, for Native Instruments. I'm just going to read a little bit here, coming off the DJ Tech Tools website. So this news might sound kind of alarming, but it's likely for the best for Native Instruments customers and products because many NI products, Native Instruments, have been lagging in development, particularly Tractor. And that is a very true statement. If you are a Tractor user or you were a Tractor user, you'll know, especially in the last couple of years, there hasn't really been any sort of new development or new technology. I know that they did release the S4 Mark III, it might have got up to, but yeah, there hasn't really been any more progress in terms of development. When you compare something like Native Instruments Tractor to Serato, for example, or Pioneer DJ, who just continually keep up producing new products and even new software, you could say Native Instruments has been a little bit quiet in that regard. Francisco claims to be fully invested in the NI ecosystem and voices their commitment to the concept of a unified platform concept that has been spoken of frequently the past few years. So this concept was often referred to in the community as One Native, although Native Instruments clarified this wasn't some kind of new product in a forum post. However, the press release from the company that highlights the investment relationship with Francisco Partners, that's the investment firm that have now purchased Native Instruments, does discuss their interest in building a more seamless experience for its creators. So it does at first sound kind of scary that you've got an investment company purchasing Native Instruments. What's going to happen to their creativity, that sort of thing. But it could be a really good thing for the company if they keep their core, sort of creative core of workers there. It could continue to be a fantastic forward-thinking company. It'd be really sad for it to see it go under. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of hate for Native Instruments as well, but it'd be really sad to see it go under. So it's good to see that there is some possible hope for Native Instruments to keep going. Possible hope. I mean, Native Instruments does have some incredible AAA products like your Machine and that sort of thing. So they're not necessarily sweating right now, but that investment would definitely help. Definitely something to check out. You can check out the DJ Tech Tools website where there is more information on this particular subject, but I thought it was definitely something worth mentioning. Another really cool, moving along here in the news, REFX, if I'm pronouncing that right, REFX, the designers of the Nexus synthesizer, which was really massive like 10 years ago. I don't know so much now because there's so many good software synthesizers on the market, but Nexus Team REFX, no, it's REFX, is turning 20. So I thought this was definitely, I mean, a good little highlight here. Happy birthday to the team at REFX. 20 years in the game. That is impressive. Actually, that seems a lot longer than I would have thought, being a Nexus user myself. However, when I do think about how long I've had Nexus, I probably was introduced to Nexus at least 12 years ago now. So that kind of makes sense that they're up to 20 years. I didn't know them the 8 years before that, but a lot of these software companies are going into their 20th year. Uh, Reason, for example, who we're going to be talking about very shortly, they're probably almost in, they'll be coming up to their 30th year this decade, which is insane. So, a lot of these software companies, feel like they're new, have actually been around for a long time. But happy birthday. I just wanted to do a big shout out there to REFX with their they've got more than just Nexus, by the way. That's not the only thing that they produce. They produce some wonderful processing plugins as well. But if you're a Nexus user, you follow that. They do have some nice Christmas pricing, which they've extended as part of their 20th birthday. I don't normally mention sales or anything on the podcast, but might be worth mentioning here as a little birthday treat. Maybe for yourself, you're having your birthday and you want to pick up Nexus. Nexus 3 actually is pretty sweet. I did do a video on that on the channel. Definitely check that out. But yeah, definitely just wanted to do a big shout out to those guys there. Happy birthday, 20 years. Unbelievable. All right, let's move straight into our product overview, our first product overview before we get into our big news here on Reason Plus. And wanted to have a quick look. We're going to do a video on this on the YouTube channel, but wanted to have a look at, I recently upgraded and got the Aturia V Collection 8, which is really exciting. I've been a Aturia user for a long time. The French company, Aturia, who have now moved more into hardware as well, uh, have recently released their V Collection, which is basically all of their instruments in one package. It's gone up to version 8. I remember the last video I did on the channel was V Collection version 4. So that's how long it's been. And I don't think I made any sequential upgrades between 4 and 7. Then I upgraded to 7, and now I've upgraded to 8. But wow, is there ever a plethora of incredible sounding instruments in this package? You definitely need to check this out. I wish I could share my screen somehow on the live video here, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. We'll work that out in a future video. So apologies for not being able to see it, but you should be able to hear what I'm going to play back for you guys here. So what is new in the V Collection 8? I'm going to go over some of the new instruments. We're going to play them back here. So the first one we're going to have a look at is the June 6V Instant Analog Love. So the legendary, easy to use polysynth with an irresistible, creamy sound that stirs the soul with iconic chorus and enhanced modulation for the richest chords and ups. Let's have a listen back. I hope this is playing back on the live video as well. Let's have a listen back here, the June 6. Nice. I'm getting some super Stranger Things vibes from that one there. Based on Roland, old school Roland synthesizer, the Junos, Juno 6V, obviously an emulation of that. But yeah, given that classic 80s analog synth sound, very nice indeed. Now, this next one I'd never really heard of before. In fact, there's a few here I hadn't really heard of before, but this one most definitely. Not sure what the hardware emulation of this is, but it must exist because this is what they do with Arturia, is they emulate old school synthesizers and bring them into software form. This next one's called Emulator 2.5V, been the 5th upgrade, textural sampling ensemble. So the perfect dusty lo-fi sampling toolkit, combining the original emulator's digital grit that you love with the cutting edge creative flexibility that you need. All right, let's have a quick listen to this. Yeah, beautiful. Actually, I had a really a little play with that, not a big play, but I had a little play with it the other day, and yeah, it really does have that nice lo-fi sort of sampled vibe going. All right, next one is, and I haven't played with this one yet. Very excited to try it out. The vocoder. So it's the ultimate voice electrifier, the iconic 16-band vocoder, expanded with advanced synth sampler and modulation capabilities, offering a distinct sound that truly speaks to for itself. Sorry. All right, let's have a quick listen to this. I just might go in a little bit here. It's not really showing it off too much. All right, kind of get a bit of an idea, but yeah, it's a voice electrified vocoder. It sounds pretty cool, actually. Just those, but it didn't give me enough to really hear it in that demo there, unfortunately. All right, so the next one is the OBXA5 legendary growl machines, faithfully to the fat, aggressive sound of the original and supercharged with new features. OBXA5 will take you for a wild sonic ride. Okay, so they're poets and they didn't know it. Let's play this back out. That's really nice, actually. Definitely nice. Hear that analog warmth. This one's awesome. I'm letting it play out a bit. It's a freaking awesome demo. All right, we'll stop that. That is a beautiful demo, really showcasing how nice and rich that analog sound is. All right, next is the Dupe 8 V4, the analog vanguard, the legendary polyphonic flagship, responsible for some of the most awe-inspiring sounds of all time, reborn with a colossal new sound engine. Let's listen to this. That's nice. Cool. We definitely get that Roland vibe there. I'm just going to move along these quickly. We need to get to some of our bigger news, but let's have a look at the next one. Stage 7.3 version 2 Electric Soul Machine. The original electronic piano superpower re-energized with a new physical modeling engine, an authentic pedal and amp rig, advanced tonal customization, and more. Check this out. Oh yeah, some skillful, soulful hands there playing the Stage 7-3. And of course, Analog Lab got a massive refresher in this update. It looks fantastic. Analog Lab was great before, and I really I liked the old GUI better, but it was a bit slow and clunky. So I do prefer the new GUI for its efficiency and speed. The one thing I miss about the old GUI is you were in a room and you had like virtual access to like all your synthesizers and stuff, and you could select them and then they highlighted with like a light went over them. And I used to really like that, but they've taken that away. They've made it a bit more of a simpler GUI, a bit easier to just sort of look at and select the instruments and stuff that you need. But yes, Analog Lab is now up to version 5, the keyboard anthology of a lifetime. So this is included, of course, if you just joined us, we're still talking about Aturia V Collection 8, the update. I know it came out about a month ago now, but I definitely just wanted to feature it here on the podcast because it is a fantastic collection. It always will be a fantastic collection as long as they don't do something which we saw recently that Reason did, which we're just about to talk about. Let's have a quick listen here. Instant access, of course, to every preset from all of V Collection's instruments in one smart interface, with intuitive browsing, custom playlists, easy sound mixing and layering, and much more. Your go-to personalized keyboard arsenal for studio and stage. So let's have a listen. Here we go. So there you go, guys. There you have it. You hear that you're just going to get an awesome selection of really nice analog sounding synthesizers in that V collection. It is definitely a worthy update. And if you have an older version of the V collection, you'll be able to get some kind of discount, which is fantastic. There's a lot more to cover. Obviously, we're not going to be able to cover everything here, but the actual V collection itself has really expanded. You are getting, let's have a look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 4. So you get, don't do this maths, 28 instruments, I believe. I hope I calculated that right without counting them individually. But basically, you're getting a lot of sound indeed. That is the V Collection 8. All right, let's move along and we can discuss this. Let's move along to our next topic for today. And of course, the big topic here with the news, my face is going orange because I'm on the Reason Studios website. Reason Studios, I'm old school. I still remember them as propeller heads. But yes, what happened exactly this last week? Reason Plus was announced, and it really didn't go down too well with the community. So I'm just going to talk about what my thoughts are on it, and of course why I feel like it perhaps didn't get it didn't really get the feedback that it should have gotten. So what is Reason Plus? For those of you that don't even know, so Reason Studios is a DAW, digital audio workstation for recording your music in. It is essentially one of the top, probably one of the big 5. I don't know if there is such a word for DAWs, so you got a big 5. But it'd be in one of the top 5, maybe top 10, because there's quite a lot now. You know, you've got your Fruity Loops, you've got Logic. I don't know, is it even called Fruity Loops? And it's probably called FL Studio or something like that. I don't even use that. FL Studio bloody 29 or whatever it's up to now. Logic Pro, you've got your Abletons, you got your Pro Tools, and so forth, right? So Reason is one of those big players. It's been around for a really long time. In fact, I remember using Reason back right at the start, when it first, in its first incarnation, before it was even Reason. It was called Rebirth, and I was using this back in 1997. Like, that is going back a long, long time. So it's a company which has been around for a really long time. It has a very, I guess you could say, traditional or old school user base, which are happy to just sort of get their software and maybe not even upgrade for many versions. I mean, I've even seen on Instagram someone using like Reason version 1 on an old school computer, but it was all working because it was a very, or it is a very stable program. It's always been one of its main, I guess, strengths, is that it's always been a very stable, easy to use, efficient digital audio workstation. Okay, so let's talk about what happened here. So recently, or this last week, Reason Studios, which they're now known as Reason Studios, it used to be known as Propelheads and now known as Reason Studios, they recently announced their new product, Reason Plus. And what is Reason Plus? Well, essentially, it is a subscription based software where you are getting everything that's included in the Propellerheads. Sorry, can't keep saying Propellerheads. Reason Studio, getting everything for 19.99 a month, everything that they produce for 19.99 a month. Now, this caused an uproar and a really upset stir in the community, myself included, because of the way it was delivered. Now, if you go to the Reason website and you have a look there, and the way it was announced, it's almost as if it sounded like they are just getting rid of Reason, the the door that we've known and loved for many years, and replacing it with a subscription base, this new Reason Plus. It sounded like they were just getting rid of Reason, and you're going to have no more support. If you want to do the upgrade, then it's too bad. So, and even when you go to their website, it looks like Reason doesn't even exist. I had to search on YouTube to find a video that actually explained it really well. I think it was Learning Reason. The video was where the guy explained what is actually going on and just sort of panded down the upset with the community. His video was very well explained, but even so, that I had to go to another third party source to find out what was going on with Reason. Just shows how bad the delivery of this new product was. Now, I understand businesses are businesses, they've got to make money. And, I guess with this community, especially, and with most people, I know I don't want to sign up for another subscription service. Like, there is so many subscription services, and when it goes into the audio world, depending on what you're getting, it can be kind of upsetting. And I know musicians are not really making massive money these days, or not making as much money, especially as they used to. But there is, of course, lots of ways to make money with music. For example, myself, I mean, it could be a little bit hypocritical for me to be upset about this, paying this 19.99 a month to have Reason Plus. But the thing is, you don't have to have it because the original product of Reason is still there. But I, for myself, am actually subscribed to Pro Tools, for example. I do pay a monthly subscription for Pro Tools 12. And that's actually, it's a little bit more than this Reason subscription here, which is 19.99 a month. I think I'm paying maybe $30 a month. But I don't actually have too big a problem with paying for the subscription service of Pro Tools 12, only because I make like 90% of my income is made through using Pro Tools. So I actually don't have an upset there. And I guess that if you were making, or you're a pro musician, you're making quite a lot of money, then a subscription service like this might not be a problem. Now, I can see the pro side of this as well, and this is one of the sort of angles I had to look for when I went through the live. They did a live video. Reason Studios did a live video on it, and I had to listen to what like the CEO and those guys were saying. Was that this now gives your average person that can't afford, like, paying a lump sum of $300 up front, this now gives you, that sort of person can now just have easy access at $20 a month, can have easy access to everything that Reason provides as a product. So it could be an easier way for people to get into Reason. I for myself, I'm going to try it out. The first month is actually free, and if you are a Reason Suite user, apparently there's a half price access to this. So instead of $19.99 a month, you'll get it for $9.99 a month or whatever it is. So I'm going to check it out. I don't really know how much extra I'm getting with Reason Plus as opposed to I've already got Reason Suite 11, which is essentially the latest version. But yeah, that's pretty much what the upset was, is that Reason came along, they introduced this product, and it looked like they're just getting rid of everything, like getting rid of the support for Reason. But it isn't the case. Reason Suite, if you just want to do the old school perpetual licensing where you upgrade, every 1 or 2 years or 3 years, you can still do that. Or if you just want to set and forget, have a monthly subscription like Netflix, for example, then you can just get, and you can get this for $20 a month, have everything that Reason produces. So I'm sitting on the fence with this. I do want to try it out. It does look like there's some new products and definitely want to do that. And I can definitely understand the upset that occurred from this as well within the community, because it really looked like Reason was doing a big FU. And even when you go to their website, you cannot see the original. You can't even see the shop. You come on the website, and obviously they want to promote Reason Plus, so they're putting it at the forefront of their website. But you cannot see anything else here. You have to scroll right down to the bottom of the website, and in the bottom right, you'll see shop, and you can actually click on Reason, which is going to take me to my original Reason, which I own, which is your perpetual license. They have a try Reason Plus for free for 30 days, which I just mentioned before. So you can just try this out, see if it's for you. But yeah, I understand you don't want a new subscription service. That totally makes sense. You don't want to be, continuously paying for things. If you've already got Netflix and that sort of thing, I think Netflix is probably the same price. But look, if you're heavily into making music with Reason, and yeah, you don't want to continually have to keep buying upgrades, this could be for you. I know people want to feel like they own something as well. So I guess at the end of the day, you never really own software. It's an unusual sort of digital format which you never actually ever really own. Anyway, I know I'm rambling on here. I've got people coming in and out of the live chat that probably bored as hell, but thanks for those who stuck around. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that Reason Plus, what happened, what my thoughts are of what happened and why it caused so much upset. And yeah, just chill out. Reason users can chill out because the perpetual license is still there. Reason is a business. They got to make money. So they're going to really push for this Reason Plus. And you got to think about people who perhaps couldn't afford Reason can now get in. And, it could work out more expensive over time. Actually, one last comment and one good comment I would like to add is I read in the comment section on one of the Reason videos was that one guy said, this is fantastic for me because I literally make music about 2 months of the whole year where I actually just write music, and the rest of the year is working or doing something else. And he said, this is awesome because I can opt in for 2 months. That's going to cost him $40. And then he can opt out and he can always have the latest version, the latest gear. I thought that was a really interesting comment. So if you could remember, like if say you wanted to use Reason for like only a month of the year, every year, this could actually be a very cheap and beneficial way, as long as you remember to turn your subscription off. So that's another really cool way to look at it. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it here on the podcast and on the live stream. If you're watching, thank you so much. I think we'll keep this format in. It seems to work really well with YouTube, so I'm very happy about that. Thanks so much for joining me. Feel free to leave a like here on the video as well. I don't even know what to say now because we've got so many mediums going. No, we don't really. Until next time, guys, you know what to do. Stick around, watch some more videos if you're on YouTube. If you're on the podcast, if you're listening on the podcast, would love a review. I know I say this every week. I don't even know who listens to this part. Would love a review on the podcast. You can do it through, I think it's on the iTunes store. You can leave a couple of stars, or no, leave me 5 stars. No, leave me whatever you feel like leaving me. I hope this was informative for you guys today. Until next time, you know what to do, guys. All right, this is it now. Peace out. Boom.